What is going on, everybody? It is Brent Abel here, goldballhunting.com. That young buck over there, the great Jeff Jacklich, just about to head on out and to the teaching court and help out one of our students this morning.
Yeah. I got we got Rich this morning, and then Julie too coming up after that.
That's great. That's great.
Another gold ball hunter.
Another gold ball hunter. All right, well, guys, listen. We got a really cool story that Jeff's going to share this morning. So I want you guys to listen to the end because this is going to be an important gold ball hunting episode. So the big question is this: how are tennis players like us who never played in the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete
like you
at
just
our
said,
highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for victory
if you're in the
match
San Francisco
after
Bay
match?
Area?
That is the question,
right
and
here
gold ball
who
hunting
can
gives you
actually
the
deliver
answers
goods
by helping you eliminate
in
your
Wells
skill
Tennis
level
Garden.
range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence.
Be heading
My
down
name
that
is Brent
direction
Abel,
quite
and along
soon.
with my biz partner Jeff Jacklich,
Few weeks,
welcome
that's right.
to gold ball hunting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Jeff is now back from the Western Lawn Tennis Club in Pontiac, Michigan. He'll be in the San Francisco Bay Area for 7 months, off and on, and off and on between, like he just said, the desert, Palm Springs area desert, some projects we've got going on down there. But if you're looking for some on-court stuff, and he's probably going to ask you when you call him up, well, all right, what tournament you got coming up? Oh, you don't have a tournament? Okay, well, what league stuff have you got coming up? And you go, well, I don't play leagues. I just want to kind of go out and, kind of mess around. Probably not going to work out. But
Maybe not, yeah.
Maybe not. But if you're a competitive player, meaning that you're actually playing matches, singles and doubles matches, where your results are getting posted to the public online, whether it's USTA tournaments, could be the USTA league stuff, or it could be something that's just posted to the club. But the results made public. If you fall into that group and you're struggling with your game, then I think Jeff wants to help you out. Best way to get in touch with Jeff, couple ways: email, let us know at goldballhunting.com, and the other way is over at Facebook. Just search Jeff Jacklich, and you will find the young man over there as well. So yesterday, Jeff, that was episode number 280, and we talked about. I shared a story about. The theme is, look, we all can play up to that level now and then, right?
Right.
And you and I have now, this is episode number 281, where we're talking about skill level range. And one day you could play great, maybe not even one day, maybe one set, heck, maybe not even a set, maybe it's only a couple of games, but you're playing at that level. It's tangible. Right. It's tangible.
Right.
And
totally.
And yet my story yesterday was kind of playing, one of the legendary senior guys and winning the second set, allowing him to kind of bring me up to his level for, a good 45 minutes when I won that second set. And then me thinking, okay, well, now I've got to do something special from my real level. At least my thought was my real level's down here. And end up not winning that match. But sort of coming away from that with a thought of, I played up there. I can play with these guys. I can play at this level. Now, I think the question we asked, well, what's holding you back from doing that all the time? And it really gets down to belief. I mean, it really is just as simple as that. And that's like the big woo-woo thing, but you got to put yourself out there often enough to experience the highs that you actually have within yourself. And to be able to come away going, I can play at that level. So, look, Jeff, you got a great story. You got a great story about a guy that we both know well, and a legend in both of our minds.
Without a doubt.
Maybe on and off the court as well.
Oh, without a doubt. Guy said he's the only guy I know that you can actually hear him roll his eyes.
That's right. That's right. All right. So Tee us
Love
up
him
with
though. Love
with kind of
Joey.
your epiphany moment, your epiphany aha kind of story about a match that you played with the great Joe Myers.
Yeah, and Joey at that time was, I think he might have been number one in NorCal, in the men's open.
I never knew him not to
you know,
be. So
yeah, played at San Jose State under Butch. So great, he had great mentors along the way, and Sherm Stieber was actually coaching him before I got kind of corralled into that stable. And so for me, Joey represented this level of player that was kind of held at this level, like this unattainable, the swagger, the walk, the attitude on the court, the whole thing. And what I came to realize through this match, even though I was practicing with him, was it was my belief that was actually creating that persona, creating that wall that I couldn't penetrate. And so it was a invitational indoor tournament out in Stockton. We had to play, I think it might have been quarters or semis or something like that. And I'm having a good week, playing well, and so we got Joey. So we, we're on the first court, it's showtime, and we go at it. And we're just playing well. I mean, it's a great match. And so he ends up breaking me right at the end of the first set. So it was either 6-4, 7-5. I don't remember. But I distinctly remember this moment when we changed sides of the court, sit down, and I'm toweling off, and I'm kind of getting my mind right. And I kind of look down, look across down the court at him. And he's sitting there, and he just happens to look at me, and we both kind of laughed at each other. It's and I don't know what he was thinking at the moment, but at that moment, though, I saw him differently. It was no longer Joey, the persona, and the all of that. It was just Joey, and so we get up, we go at it. So I win the second set. I play a solid second set. I think the second set was probably 6-4, 7-5 as well. And so for me, that moment, and then we get into the third set. I'll finish that part of it. And I end up losing the third set like 6-4, something like that. We beat the heck out of each other for a few hours. And but the aha moment, the epiphany was it was the lens I was looking through that was actually preventing my ability to actually play at that level for 3 hours. And to believe that I belong there, and so that moment in that match actually helped not just break through Joey's, what I believed his persona was, but it helped me knock down the walls for all these, the other players in NorCal at that time, that I had this, like, God, I hope I play well for them. And that statement, I know, if you really think about it, players out there, think about the way when you play a better player and you're kind of not sure and you're kind of feeling a little, God, I hope, like, as you said yesterday, Brent, I hope I don't embarrass myself out here, right? And so that kind of thinking leads to this other thought, which is, God, I hope I play well for this guy so he respects me. Well, there's no win in that formula. There's no winning idea that you're going to end up at the end of the day with the balls in your hand and walking up to the desk and reporting the score. And so for me, that moment clarified that for me very distinctly. And the rest of my matches playing in NorCal, for the next couple of years were, like I said, I don't think I finished anywhere less than a quarter or semi with a lot of finals in there too. So. But that moment, and so it's really it's an interesting thing that when you start to detach from the persona, when you start to detach from the outcome, when you start to detach from your own little micro beliefs that actually kind of set the stage and prep the soil for what the outcome is already. It's almost predetermined that you're not going to get over that hump until you can actually change the lens you're looking through and your own self-belief and decide, you know what, I belong here. And so I think there's a lot of players that you and I both know that we would look at and kind of go, God, that guy really doesn't strike the ball that great. He doesn't seem to have any great weapons. He doesn't seem to whatever, but they're always in the hunt. They're always at the top of the pyramid at the end of the tournament. And what you realize about those guys is that they've always believed they belong there for a very long time. You know what I mean? They've crossed over that some of them crossed over in the juniors and just catapulted, and because they've always believed they belong there. They got used to winning. They and there is something to that as well. I mean, I know that for sure, that there was months at a time when I would be playing at this level and you're just accustomed to winning. And so you walk out to the court and that's also your expectation, not without hard work and all that, but you just play in this mental place that is so focused on the task at hand that the winning is just like this thing that just keeps coming. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. So what was happening, leading up to this match where you kind of, even though you lost the match, and that's a great lesson for everyone. It was the same thing for me against, Brian in that story I said yesterday. Even though I lost the match, it completely changed me. And the same thing for you. So what was happening before? Why were you not believing that? Because you had mentioned that you sort of were bumping up. You could win a round, maybe two, but you could not get to the quarters, right? You couldn't quite get there. And I got to believe that it wasn't because you needed to work more on getting more top on your forehand, Jeff.
No.
Or all this other stuff, right? That really centers around improving stroke technique. It was something else that was holding you back, and to me, it's like, well, we kind of set it up yesterday. How many guys do we know who have mediocre strokes at best, and yet they know how to win tennis matches? And on the other side of the coin, how many players do we know who, God, they look like $1 million in the warm-up and in practice and in drills, but when it comes down to actually playing the match, they don't know how to win.
Right. They don't know how to play the game, And so, I can't even count how many warm-ups I've lost.
Okay.
and then
one
in straights.
Well, and I'm sure on the other side of the coin too. I can't. That you've probably won a lot of warm ups and gone. How did it? An hour and a half later, how did I lose to this guy?
Right.
So. Right. I'm just curious. Was there a false belief that you were telling yourself before that match with Joe? Was there something that you kept telling yourself that was? I mean, was it just kind of an image? I'm only a second round. I'm only a third round guy. That's really all I can do. Or was was it something else where you were going, look at these guys? I mean, just starry-eyed with these guys, and that was the thing that was holding you back.
Yeah, I mean, I had those guys were different somehow. They didn't bleed red blood. They were different. My history in NorCal too, I played juniors, was not a standout junior whatsoever. Got ranked, but definitely near the bottom of I just got some ink before the page ended, And so I had history of losing to these guys for years and struggling and okay, let's line it up. Let's do it again. And the learning ground of tournament play is where these things really the epiphanies take place and the jumps in belief take place because it's an intangible that, like I said, it happens in tournaments. And so for me, it was finally, though, I'd say in junior college playing with, for Rich Anderson. That was probably the biggest change in my mental game and mental belief because Rich spent a lot of time with us and playing. We played a lot of sets, games in practice, We did the training, we did drills, and we did all that, but there was a lot of emphasis on match play. And Rich was just a, firm believer in, what do you believe? What, watch the other guys. Who are you watching too as well? He always encouraged us, like, you're at the tournament, who's the number one seed? Go watch him play. What do you see that he does that you don't do? It's similar to the question, we've been asking, as of late. And so for me, I had to put it in simplest terms, get out of my own way. I had the skill set, and I heard the rumblings around me that, you don't want to play me first round, or you don't want to play me in the early rounds, even though I wasn't doing anything yet, just because the term that was kind of focused on me was I was dangerous, but I hadn't actually owned up to that moniker yet.
Yeah. Well, it's just
so I know it seems very intangible, but the match play part of it is where, in matches you start to make different decisions rather than always being in the same pattern. Oh, here we go again. It's 5-2. I'm up. I always get broken here, and those and not allowing your mind to wander down those areas. That.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm just trying, as you're talking, I'm thinking about how you could have shortcutted, or how you could have compressed time in terms of having to play years and years and years of tournaments. How you might have, like, if you were to look back and go, oh, well, what I would have rather done instead. Now that I know what I know, I'd go back there and here's what I would have done instead. And for me, I had been, I'd been a do-it-yourselfer for not only stroke technique, but also for, playing tournaments. And I was not getting any other opinion other than my own.
Right.
And so if I was to go back and not only look at like before Stowe, I would have found someone a lot faster than when I found Tom.
Right.
And here's the other thing is, we all know that I had Tom for 18 months and then he passed away. And then I didn't really see anybody after that. Really until about 25 years later when I got together with Michael Wayman.
Right.
And sure enough, I had Stowe 18 months. Literally, I don't know, 9 months, 10 months after he passes away, I win my first gold ball. I get together with Michael Wayman for 8 months in Moraga when he's the head men's coach at St. Mary's.
Right.
25 years later, lo and behold, about a month after that, I win my second gold ball.
Crazy.
So to me, it's like I should have never stopped getting coaching after Mr. Stowe passed away. Not that I wasted 25 years, because there was time in there, like I said yesterday, when I was raising 3 daughters and working and commuting and Tiburon, all that stuff. Cow Club in the city and Tiburon Peninsula Club and all those kind of jobs. But I wish that I'd still kept getting coached. And so I guess the message for everyone today is, and I know that your story with Joey is based around a lot of getting coached from not only Rich, but kind of a consistent dose of high-level coaching, Rich and Shermy, and starting off with Giuseppe as well, a Tom Stowe. Right. Once removed.
I would throw this in there too. For me, there are distinct days where I can benchmark them and go, things changed. I was different the next day. So that day with Joey on the court, I was different the next day.
Yeah.
Before that, playing challenge matches at Kenyatta, and Rich, the challenge match process, was unbelievable there. Everybody actually had to play 3 challenge matches that were 3 out of 5. Rich wanted to know who had the balls to actually gut it out if you lost a set, first set or whatever. He wanted to see what was going on, So in those matches too, they were so high, there was such pressure just to make the team, to try to make the team. and because it wasn't like there was no lock. And so there was a distinct match in that process too, that I was always a nice guy on the court, always polite, respectful, didn't make the right call here, it's yours, and blah, blah, blah. And this one match, guy pushed me to the limit, and, Rich is standing right there, and I went off like I'd never gone off before, because this guy just pushed me mentally to this point where I couldn't take it anymore. And literally, I was at the net. I wanted to go across the net and bludgeon him with my racket. I was so off the wheel, off the rails. And but that was a distinct moment of me standing up for my own belief in myself, and that I belong here on the court. And that season, I actually earned the number 3 spot from being number 12 the year before. And so for me, I have these like distinct match moments. That's not necessarily this gradual thing for me. It was like it happened on that day. The next day I was different. I walked out on the court and said, this match is mine to begin with, and this guy's going to have to take it from me. So it was this weird, I have these things along the way that changed my belief.
Of course. And I think that it's not like you go from 3-0 to 4-7 in a day. Mm-mm. And there are these little benchmarks along the way. But for me, and I'm sure that you'd say the same thing, all of my benchmarks were based on getting coached.
Right.
Totally. I never figured out anything on my own until I got coached. And then once I got coached, right, I was given a foundation. I was given kind of like, well, this is what to be looking for. So when you go and play the tournament and I'm not going to be there with you, this is what to look for. Well, I didn't know that. Even though right, my coach wasn't physically with me. Right. Now, hey, Michael, it's 8:30 at night, and the last thing he wants to do, I'm sure, is hear from me. He's been on the court all day with the junior program. He was going to go, okay, mate, what happened? And I tell him, and I could then of course I couldn't get him to shut up, right? He'd just keep going. It was great. I guess the point, guys, that Jeff
coaching,
and I want.
Sure.
What's that?
Yeah, without a doubt, the coaching process of it, because in that process for me, even the very first one where I went off on the guy, part of that was born out of Rich's encouragement. Watch the other players. What are they doing? Yeah. And so I was watching the top guys stand up for themselves in moments and take control of their active participation in the match. I got nothing, I can't control this guy, but I certainly have the ability to not let his attitude, junk, whatever, get on my side of the net.
That's right. Yeah.
You keep it on your side. Once it starts to leak onto my side, I got to put a stop to it. And that's kind of the way I see it.
I'm sure that Rich helped you do that. I'm sure that he.
Oh, without a doubt. Like
totally.
I said, it's encouraging to watch the better players and see how they handle situations and all of that. And it was such a highly competitive atmosphere that if you didn't stand up for yourself, you were just going to get rolled. So yeah, I think as we're going through this, encouraging the players out there who are struggling in those first and second rounds and trying to get through that. You
got to get coached. I'm sorry.
You got to get coached. And there's a distinction between, a lesson and a coach and getting coached. Everybody, I'm going to just say that blanket statement again, the kind of the visual, everybody thinks that, that some guy standing across the net feeding you balls is the pinnacle of how this works. And you and I both know that's a part of the package, but the bigger part of the package is somebody who's actually managing your journey and knowing what to pluck out to advance the cause, make the boat go faster now.
Yeah. Well, and it all gets back to winning. So grinding through another year every week off the ball machine or with a teaching pro that's going to just let's keep working on that wiper forehander. Let's keep working on this technical part. It's not going to move the needle in terms of you winning a lot more of your singles and doubles matches and starting to make that jump to where the whole thing the last couple of days has been, you can play at this level because you've played there before. And so the question is, what's holding you back? Well, one of the things that might be holding you back is you're not working on the right stuff. Is you're actually spending time working on the wrong stuff that is literally holding you back from winning more matches. So Jeff and I have been continuing for 281 days of offering a free private coaching call that if you're not getting the results that you want out of your game, could be singles and or doubles, let's get on a free coaching call. Literally no charge. There's no strings. There's no nothing. We just want to see if we can't kind of see what's going on with your game and kind of give you one thing, point you in the direction to, maybe this is the big domino for you right here in terms of helping you win more. And all the other little technical things you're thinking about, because you and I, Jeff, have asked that question, well, what do you think's holding you back? And then it's this laundry list of these mini minutia technique things that have nothing to do with winning more matches. And so let's get on that call. The way, if you're not on our email list, just go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in the first name and email address, and you'll get access to our online calendar scheduler. You can cherry pick a date and time that works best for you. If you're already on our list, you're getting our emails, then somewhere in that email, every time, there's a link that will take you over to schedule that free private call. It's just the three of us.
Yep.
Jeff, my man, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review. Goldballhunting.com. Spread the word.
Outstanding. All right. Guys, get out there today. Woo, look at that. It is snowing again. Wow. Snowing again here in Steamboat Springs. I think it might snow all day. That's not a problem for me. Guys, wherever you are, get out there. Help someone else have a great day. Jeff, we'll do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.